Hello, hello. Thanks for stopping in today. I'm Candy Michael, and I am in beautiful Powell, Ohio, and it's time to get started. Thanks for joining me. Today I will be showing you some fun projects using our Stampin Blends. These are alcohol-based marker, and there are actually several different techniques that you can do using these markers. So I have some do's and don'ts that I want to share with you, and let me get started. I had one little cheat sheet that I left over on my table. Okay, so these are some fun cards that I made for an in color club that I had when our annual catalog first came out. And I had so much fun with it that I want to show you how I made this particular card using the soft succulent cardstock and designer series paper, and also the evening evergreen that you can see here, and how I colored this ribbon. Hello, Debbie. So thanks for joining me, but let me show you these cards really fast. So these are all the newer in colors, and they're the same card, the same design, but look at how pretty that you can just color using the blends and color your ribbons. So when I was researching what was I going to show you, there are so many ideas, and these are some of the things that I had already done. So when I was thinking, what am I going to show them? There are so many ideas out there and tutorials of what you can do using the Stampin' Blends. So I will give you some tips as well as I can, and hopefully give you some fun ideas too, because the holidays aren't that far. So of course I have some fun holiday ideas for you as well. So the biggest thing that I can tell you that I have done with my blends, well, one of the big things that I've done is coloring with my Stampin' Blends and coloring ribbon. And so I love the fact that when they sell these, Stampin' Up! Sells them in a pair, and they sell them in a light and a darker color. They're called light and dark, and you can see that on the side where they have it listed light, and then they have dark. This one is not a very good example because they're very close in the same color. They're too dark. But anyway, you can see that there's a variation in color. On our markers, so you notice there is a thin line, and that is for our bullet side. If you want to journal, or even when you're trying to color in, if you need to get some of those smaller spots. And it's a really nice, strong tip. When you use the brush side, and you'll see the line here is thicker, and it's showing you the brush side versus the thinner line showing you the bullet tip. When you use your brush marker, hi Judy, thanks for joining me today. You have to be careful to not go straight down on your project, but to use the side of your tip. And that way you will keep your tips lasting a little bit longer. When you go down on the tip, you may start to damage it, and the tips will start to fray. So these that I have out on the table right now are the actual newer in colors that go through 2023. And I love these colors. When they first came out, I wasn't sold on them. And then when we did the in color club, I fell in love with them. So that was very fun, and I love them. So I wanted to start off showing you these because they all look so pretty together. All right, let me move these out of the way for now. And I'm going to show you how I did this card. This is just a really fun, simple card, and I'm going to show you how I colored the ribbon. And really quick, I want to give a shout out. I do have a website, candystampers.com. My host code for November is listed right here. So when you go to candystampers.com, you can actually get to my Stampin' Up website, which is candymichael.stampinup.net. So you'll see links that will take you there to shop. And if you're shopping and spend under $150, And the reason you'll see a lot of people say that is because if you're spending over $150 before tax and shipping, you get all the host rewards. But if you're just putting in an order that doesn't quite reach that amount, you can use the host code, and then that will go towards a current party. So thanks again for joining me. I'll bring this back out, my little tag, but for now I'll scoot it out of the way. Hi, Patty. Hi, Dina. How are you guys all doing today? So I'm going to show you first using the dark Evergreen blend. And, you know, let me just give you guys some quick tips of things that I've learned. And I'll go through them again as we're going. But I want to show you the difference between the Stampin Blends, which is an alcohol-based marker, and our Stampin' Write markers. So our Stampin' Write markers also have a brush tip, and they're very, very cool. I love these markers. I've had them for a very long time, and they have a nice little journaling tip, which you can also color with if you're trying to get into something fine. I a lot of times will use like my pumpkin pie marker if I'm trying to get the nose of a snowman or something like that. So the little fine tip works really well. But just a quick shout out. When you are using your stamps and you want to color on your stamps, and I'll use this for instance. If you wanted your words to be different on here, so I'm kind of backing up from getting onto this card, but I'll do that in a minute because this is really important for you to know. When you're using the Stampin' Write markers, they're an ink base, a water-based marker. So they have the color ink, obviously, that is the lid. And I'm going to bring two of them out here just so you can see. And we have the Stampin' Write markers. You can actually color onto your stamp. The Stampin' Blends, you do not want to color on your stamp. And the reason is this is alcohol based. And first of all, they dry very quickly. But secondly, alcohol on your stamps, on your rubber, is not a good thing. So you see my little finger? No, no, no. Because many people were used to being able, before these blends came out, they were used to being able to color with these. So say you wanted the word birthday to stand out. So with these Stampin' Write markers, you can actually color, and I'm going to try to do this and see if it comes out, but you can actually color on your stamps. So words, or if you're coloring in flowers and you want them to be a different color, then you can use the Stampin' Write markers for coloring onto your stamp. But you do not use the Stampin' Blends to color on your stamp. Again, alcohol on your stamps on your rubber will dry them out. So we don't want to do that. Years ago, many, many years ago, 25 years ago, because I just celebrated my 25th, when I very first started stamping, people were under the impression, so this was back in, I'll date myself, back in 1991. I started to attend Stampin' Up! Parties. And back then, everybody was like, oh, you can use Windex to clean your stamps. And no, 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 you cannot, because it has alcohol in it. So that's why we have like our Stampin' Mist that you'll want to use to clean your stamps afterwards. But you really do not want anything that's alcohol to clean your stamps. Water would be much better than that. So I just wanted to give you a quick tip, and I'm going to show you how cute this comes out. So now that I've colored and I've talked, I want to show you what you would do with this stamp. So you would fog it like you would fog a mirror. And then you would simply stamp it. And you will have the different colors. Well, I didn't do a very good job on that, but I just wanted to give you the idea. So it would give you the different colors on your stamp. So the Stampin' Write markers, you can color on your stamp, okay? But the blends are meant to color on paper. So hopefully that will be really helpful for you guys to know, because if nobody tells you, how are you going to know? All right, so let me get back to my card. This is a super cute, easy card to make. And I used the, I did have a cheat sheet with all my names on it. But I want to call it the Pierced Bloom die. Oh, I do have it right here. The Pierced Bloom dies. I was right. So these are the dies that I used on here. And look, I have all my measurements. I'll put them out for you on the screen in a little while when I get done. So I have this card cut at 4¼ inches by 11, and it's scored at 5½ inches. So let me bring out all my parts and pieces. This is the soft succulent cardstock, so pretty. And I've paired it with the Evening Evergreen cardstock, which is also an in color. And I want to go ahead and put my white in the middle. And this is a 4 by 5¼ Sorry, I lost my mind for a moment. And I'm just going to put a little glue. Again, I love my glue. For some of you that are new, this is the Tombow Mono Liquid Multi Glue. And it's awesome. It does have 2 sides to it. So it's a dual tip. You can use either side when you're gluing. So super cool, super cool. I'm going to leave that uncapped because I'm always putting it back. All right, so we have the inside. Now let's work on the outside. I'm going to take my designer series paper and I'm going to give you guys all the measurements afterwards. So, because I don't have them memorized, but I have them all typed up for you, so I'll make it easy for you. So I'm going to put down my Evening Evergreen, making sure I'm calling it the right one. And a super cool tip. So when you see this, and I knew I needed to die cut out this flower, a lot of people don't think about it, but this paper that's underneath, like the designer paper that's underneath here, is not going to be seen. So I die cut my flower out of this so I didn't have to cut into another piece of designer paper. So look at that. So this is going to get glued down anyway, and then it's going to be hidden by all of this. So yay! If you've not seen that tip or used this as a tip, it's really cool. You can also do that with your punches. So if your piece is going to hide it that's bigger, then why not save on your paper? Because if you guys are like me, we love our paper, right? Okay, so I am going to put that on. And the reason I love this glue is I can move this around for a quick second before it dries. Perfect. All right, now we're going to go ahead and glue this on to the front. What is your favorite in color for the newer grouping here? We have Polished Pink, Soft Succulent, Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, and Pale Papaya. I love them all, and I love all of their names. They're super cool. Okay, so we have this. I'm going to be using my flower in a little bit, and I have the little itty-bitty center as well. So I'm going to push that off to the side. Now I'm going to do some stamping, simple stamping. I'm going to use that beautiful stamp set that I had, hoping your birthday is filled with all the best things. I'm going to stamp it in the Evening Evergreen, which you can see my sample card right here. Hi, Kathleen. You're home. Hello, hello. I just happened to stand up and see your name pop up, so welcome. All right, so we're just going to give it a light tap, tap, tap. There's no reason to smash your stamp in there, otherwise you end up with ink everywhere. Bev, welcome. Good to hear you're here. Good to see you're here, I guess, is better what I was trying to say. So on this particular one, hello, Dawn. Welcome. Well, I think that's kind of crooked, but I'm going with it. Nope, I'm going to flip it. There's always 2 sides to these, right? I'm going to blame it on I put my stamp on crooked. It doesn't matter. It's all good. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is on this particular card, and then, or this particular piece and the card, I just cut out a little tiny, like an arrow, I guess you'd say, a little flag or banner. It's whatever you want to call it. I'll call it a flag banner because I can. Okay, so this piece eventually is going to get glued on, but first we have to color our ribbon. So I cut a piece, it's 12 inches long. And again, I will have all the measurements for you in just a little bit. I have a sheet that's all typed up, so you don't have to read my scratchy. And this is the coolest part of the demo. So I'm going to use, you can see on here, it says the light evening evergreen or the dark. Depending on your project, you're going to find which one works best for you. I'm going to use the dark because I want it to be dark. So it's easy to just hold on to this and start in the middle and just using your brush side. Look at how cool is that. If you haven't used your blends to color ribbon, then guess what? You're going to want to do that. Guys, hold on 1 second. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm coming. I'm so sorry. I have these guys in the back that are building a step. And I told them I'm going live. I'm going to be busy. And of course they knocked on the door anyway. I'm so sorry. But back to my coloring. So this actually dries really fast, super fast. And if you want, when you're using your markers for coloring ribbon, if you feel like it's too light and you want it darker, you can turn your ribbon over and do the back side as well. Because I'm using the darker marker, I don't really need to color the back of it. I'm going to be perfectly happy with it being this color. I hope you guys can see that okay. Let me see what it looks like. Oh yeah. So it will dry very quickly. You might get a little bit on your fingers. So just be careful you don't transfer that onto your lighter color cardstock when you're stamping and touching all your other pieces. But it literally it dries fast. So I'm going to just tie a simple, trying to scooch that up there, simple knot. And I can always move this around. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome. And I do not want this to be a square knot, which it's going to be awkward for me because I'm always tying a square knot. So when you tie a square knot, my boys were scouts and they taught me how to tie a square knot. But when you tie a square knot, a square knot will make your ribbon lay flat this way. And I don't want it to lay that way because of the design of this card. Thanks for the wave. So I purposely wanted my ribbon to go this way. So if you're ever struggling when you're tying ribbons and you can't figure out why your knot won't lay flat, it's because you need to tie a square knot if you want it to be level this way. Otherwise, don't tie a square knot. And you can learn how to do that online. There are many YouTube videos. I have taught many people how to do that. But it's that's like a class or a longer period of time for class. So I don't want to do that right now. But Google how to tie a square knot and you will be amazed how your ribbon will lay better. So I laid this so that it would be right in the middle of my cut. And that's going to be perfect. So now I just want to, see, you can see my boo-boo. It didn't look very straight. So there's always two sides to every project, and we just made it work. So I'm going to bring this over and center it. Oops. And then I can still slide this because it's wet. My glue is wet. There we go. And then that can lay down. So we have that so far. Love it. Isn't that fun? Now, if you wanted, when I did this, I could have colored this the soft succulent and it probably would have popped more, but this was just how I did it. So it's fun. You can play with these ideas. You can run with it. You can change it up, whatever works best for you. So this is Candy's version. But again, I could have used the ribbon as the soft succulent and it probably would have popped a little bit better. But I just repeated what I had done before because I'm a creature of habit. I'm going to put that right on that ribbon so it doesn't move around. And that ribbon is pretty flat. So if I didn't mention it, this is it's called the Whisper White. And in English, it's the Crinkled Seam Ribbon. I love this ribbon, but I cannot wait to walk you through some other tips about coloring on ribbon. This ribbon has always been my go-to when I need another color. But when I started researching all of these blend ideas, well, I don't want to put it on that one. I want to put on this one. When I started researching all my blend ideas, it was like a big aha moment. And I'll show you what my aha moment was. Okay, so lastly, we're going to just glue this little cute little center to our flower. If I can pick it up. There we go. Okay, Candy. You know, I'm not really a nail girl. They're pretty, but I had them dipped. It's time to get them done again. And they're very thick. So I have a hard time picking things up. I may go back to just all natural. So I'm using a dimensional to pop this up as I did my evening evergreen piece. And I love giving my cards dimension. So therefore the name dimensionals. Look at how cute and sweet and simple that is, you guys. Again, you could have done this in you could do this in soft succulent. I chose to do the evergreen. And it was just kind of that hint of color. So there's that. Here are my in colors that I did before, and I just interchanged all the in color colors. So the Fresh Freesia with the Positively Pink, again, did that. And then the Pale Papaya with the soft succulent. Isn't that pretty? I just thought that was such a pretty color. And then, again, the Pale Papaya with the Evening Evergreen. Fun cards. Hope that was a great tip about cutting out your flower. If you hadn't thought about that, give it a try. Okay, I have more. I have more. I even brought out all my ink pads for my end colors because I thought they were so pretty. But I'll put them away for now. These two I'm going to need. All right, let's move on to the next tip. Well, I'm staying with that tip, but let me move on to my next little project. So I needed some red ribbon, real red ribbon that was wider. And I really didn't have anything like, meaning that this is a very narrow ribbon, and I just showed you, you can color on that. But I wanted a wider ribbon, and I started looking at the ribbon that I had on the shelf, and I thought, I wonder if I can use my blends to make different colors. Make this ribbon a different color. So I got daring and pulled out my dark real red blend, and you guys are not going to believe how super cool this is. But I went ahead and ran my brush side across here, and this color is actually petal pink. That's the color of the ribbon when you buy it. So if you have some of your ribbons on the shelf and you're thinking, oh, I need a red ribbon, and I just ran out of all that really pretty red ribbon, what can I use? Well, bring out your blends and color your ribbons and make them the color that you need. Isn't that awesome? I was so excited. This was a piece, here, I'll put it on here. It kind of came out almost like a rose color, but that's when it dried. So I can go over it again and give it more of a red color. But I just want you to know you can use, I may have used cobbler on this one now that I'm looking at it. I think this was cobbler. But I grabbed red to show you guys. So we'll see. I'll come back to it after it dries so we can see what it really looks like. But is that not cool? Oh my gosh. It's like opening up a whole new world. And then wait for it. I have another tip or another ribbon. So then I had my pool party sheer ribbon. And I thought, oh, I really needed a mossy meadow color. And I didn't have a mossy meadow color. So I thought, self, what am I going to do? And so I grabbed my blends. And again, using the brush side, I colored this in just like you guys just saw. Now, I will tell you, sometimes the little flecks will come off of the ribbon. So make sure you clean that off of your tip. I don't know how great this is on your tips, but I'm so excited I could just color every ribbon in my stamp room. So I'll hold that up on some white so you can see that as well. This is better. How cool is that? And I did it earlier, and look, it still has the green on it. So that's Mossy Meadow. So I turned my pool party color into the color of blend that I wanted. And now I have a Mossy Meadow green ribbon. Yay! Okay, wait for it. There's even more. So you guys, go look through your ribbons, start playing with your blends. And if you don't have your blends, you can order them with my host code for November. All right, I want to show you two more that I want to show you because this came out really, really, really super cool. So I thought, oh, what could I do with the gorgeous grape ribbon that is so pretty and again, sitting on my shelf. And all of you guys that know me know I'm a blue fanatic. So I grabbed my dark, sorry, it's upside down, my dark Night of Navy blend. And on the brush side, I started coloring it. And I was just, la, 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 I think I'm going to just see what this looks like. And I did do both sides because I'm trying to slow down, trying to cover the purple, the grape, the purpley grape color. And wait for it. This gave me like this beautiful navy color. Isn't that cool? So if you didn't know this tip, I'm really excited to share that with you. But I turned my grape into blue, into Night of Navy. So sometimes you just need that extra ribbon and you're in a hurry for that project and you're thinking, oh, I don't really need purple, I need blue. So there you go. I did not try any of the lighter colors. I only tried the darker ones. Again, it will take a second to dry, so be careful you don't get it all over you. Oh, there's even one more tip. And this was probably the coolest one of all. So we have this Simply Elegant trim that is gold and silver. And I didn't know if it would color on here or not. And so I didn't try the gold, but I did try the silver. And I just want to show you again using my Night of Navy. This one was a little tough, a little more tough, a little tougher, however you say it. But I'm going to just hold that down with a little anchor and then show you guys. You can actually change the color of your silver to whatever color you need. So if you need some gold and some blue, Night of Navy, look at how cool. And I don't even mind that there's a tinge of the silver coming through. But is that not just the coolest thing ever? So here's what that looked like when it dried. It's just a hint of the navy. I thought that was super cool. So I'm assuming that it's going to stay on there. I tried rubbing my fingers on it to take any of the ink off, and it doesn't come off. This one I did earlier today just to see if it would color. Yay! So hopefully these are some fun ideas that you guys didn't know, little tips that you didn't know that you can do with your blend. So obviously, ribbon coloring 101 was my biggest tip that I wanted to share with you today because I thought that was super cool. All right, I have another project here. Which one am I doing? Let's do this one. Super cute. I have 2 more projects I'm sharing with you. Super cute. Very excited about this one. So last year I got the cutest package from my friend Mindy, and I didn't bring it over. You know what? I'm going to grab it and show you guys because I just recreated it in some of the colors I wanted. But I tore it apart, so you're not really going to see. But I can at least show you the front. I did tear it apart. So let's see what I did. Can you hear me ripping my room apart? Oh my gosh, if you guys saw my room, you would just laugh. It is a mess. Okay, so I'll just show you the front of what she had given me because it's super cute. So this was Mindy's version, and it had a hot cocoa packet in it, and it had this cute little candy cane spoon tied on it. So Candy did her own version and changed it up. This is my version. And again, how stinking cute is that? So it's a hot cocoa holder. It's the same measurements that Mindy had used. And it is really, really cute. So I'm going to show you how I did it. Again, you guys, at the end, I have all the measurements, and I'm happy to share that with you. But I'm going to put it out at the end so that I can just keep talking because you know how much I love to talk. All right, so let me explain to you how I did this. Excuse me. All this talking makes me thirsty. All right, so I copied how she did it, but I changed mine up just a teeny bit. So here's the hot cocoa packet, and what I'm going to do is use, everything is cut. So if I have to reach in front of you, excusez-moi. Okay, here we have, you know what I did do for you? I did do this. Here is the base. It'll make more sense as I walk you through it all, but here is the base of what I did. And where it's scored. So when it folds over, it has that little piece here. You could make it wider if you need to, so that the cocoa packet, it depends on your cocoa packets. Some are fatter than others. So it just depends. But these are the measurements. So this piece, what I meant here is this measurement from here is 2 1/4 inches tall. And then you're going to cut it right up to that first score line. So score it first and then do your cut. And as long as this is 2 1/4 inches, you're going to get that correct angle. Hope that makes sense. Okay. So there's the base. Oh, that's my next piece. Here is my designer paper cut. And I chose this cute little trees here, but that's the paper size. And when you put it up to your piece in the front, all I did was measured it to the width, but then just cut this down a little bit smaller so it'll obviously layer and you can see the background there. Hope that makes sense. I can tell you what this part measured. I didn't think of that. I did on the other one, but not on this one. So this one measures 2 1/4 from this side, and then you want your angle up to the top. Hopefully that helps. Okay, so we have that. And then, just so you know, this piece that got cut off, I kept. And I kept that because I ended up using that on my inside. And I added a little piece of cardstock over the cocoa packet, so it just didn't look like a cocoa packet. So I thought that was kind of fun to just put a piece of cardstock on it. I'm looking for my cocoa packet because I don't see it on my table. Oh, I hid it. I set something on top of it. All right, so we'll get back to the inside part in a minute. So I did keep this because it'll go on the inside before I pull it out. All right, let's get started on this. So I have it cut. I have it scored. I'm going to go ahead and glue down my designer paper. Come back here. And this is such a cute, if any of you guys are doing craft fairs, this was such a cute idea. I really love it. I may have to make some. I have several craft fairs coming up. You know, in my spare time. Any of you that know that do craft fairs are probably laughing, going, yeah, right. You're gonna get that done when? Okay, so we have that done. Super simple. For the front, I'm going to show you how I decorated it. I used the stamp set that is called Perfectly Plaid, and I do have all of that listed on my measurements here. I put on here what the stamp set name is, Perfectly Plaid, and the pine tree punch that coordinates with this stamp set. And I have all the measurements typed out for you. So again, I'll put that down at the end. Alrighty, what I'm going to do here is using my punch and my stamp. I am going to stamp my little plaid tree. How cute is that? What am I looking for? My Evening Evergreen ink. This one. It's nice and dark. I'm making sure that's what I use. Nope. I use the soft succulent. Disregard. I use the soft succulent ink pad because the other one was a little dark. So I changed my mind about 4 times. So I kind of forgot that I changed my mind. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. I am going, oops, I missed a corner there. If the tree has a corner, I missed a corner. All right, it's an edge. Ooh, isn't that cute? So I love the plaid. You guys, this stamp set and punch is still available in the catalog. And I bought it last year and I really haven't played with it. And I was so excited for this project because how often do you want something fast and simple to stamp and pop on the front of a card or pop on the front of a package? And this is your go-to because it's going to save you. Just line it up, punch it out, and you have your tree. So I've already die cut using our layering circle dies, and I die cut out my circles. I liked having, oops, I can't pick that up. I liked having a little bit smaller of a circle. You can use any sizes you want. And I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this. Don't know where I put the other package, but I have these, and these work. So we're going to use these. These are our black dimensionals. When you're using a darker cardstock, a lot of people had started asking for darker dimensionals because the white ones just seem to pop out a little bit. And you know what? I use them on white projects and the black cardstock projects because it doesn't really matter. You don't see them, so it doesn't really make a difference. So we're going to pop this up. And I probably should have put my word tag on there first. So let's hope that it's all going to fit. Yes, it's going to fit. I also put some dimensionals on the back of my little tree. And I hope you guys are loving this. And I'm going to put that right here. Pop up my little tree right in the middle. And then let's stamp some words. They're right here. I'm using real red ink. I needed a pop of color, and the candy cane, well, it's white and red, so that was my go-to color. And just a light tap. I'm going to bring this up And hopefully I can see if it's straight or not, but you guys know I'm doing this to give you some ideas. It's a long stamp, so press hard in the middle. Yay. Cute, cute, cute. Okay. So far, so good. This piece I did just glue down flat right underneath here because I've already have dimensions on there. Yeah, I'm going with it. You can pop it up whatever you want, but I am just going to lay it flat. Oh my goodness, you guys, I'm telling you, these can't get underneath it with these silly nails. All right, let's put this down and then we're going to continue on the inside. Don't move. Oh, it's crooked. Okay, it's straight again. All right, so for the inside piece, we are going to use some of our foam adhesive strips. These are awesome. They're a dimension, like a dimensional, but they're long strips when you need them. They are great. So I have a little bit from a package that I had before, and all you have to do is just measure how long you want it. So I'm going to go from this side, and I am going to take 2 of them. 1 would probably be fine, but I'm going to take 2, maybe. I might change my mind. I'm allowed. Oh. So let's go ahead and put this on here. And you want to bring it to the bottom because you want your cocoa to be able to slide down to that line. I'm going to just try 1 because I don't want it to go too deeply here. So the trick here is you want to line this up to your bottom so it's all even. We're going to try it with 1. It should be fine. All right. Next, I've got my cocoa packet, and when I had this and put it in, you can leave it just like that if you want, but it bothered me that my red was showing, and then on this side, it was, you know, also some red, and so I wanted to cover it up. So what I did here was I took some cardstock and just made a cute little piece to go around the back, and this piece is cut at 3.5 by 5.5, and then I scored it. These are weird measurements. You guys can fuss with it and change it, but I did 4 5/8 and 3 5/8. So I think when I scored it, I had it this way on the scoring tool, so that's why it looks funny like that, because it was 3 5/8 and 4 5/8. But when I wrote it out, I wrote it the other way. So don't mind me. You still have the measurements and you can figure it out. So all I did with this, and here's my piece, was fold along your score line. You know, the terrible tape works better on this than your glue because you don't really want the glue on the outside of that, of your cocoa. So we're going to use some terrible tape because it's terrible. See, that's why I call it terrible, because you can tear it. I'm so funny. Ha ha ha. And then I'm just going to do this to hold it onto my hot cocoa packet. Okay, very simple, very easy. And then a super easy tip. I feel like I have this huge mess everywhere, which you guys probably can see. I do. Okay, and then we're going to peel this off. Super awesome tip is to use your piercing tool on your take a pick tool. And then we can get this white tape piece off the covering. Look at that. Fast and easy. I'm telling you, with these nails, there's no way I could do that. So all I did was set this inside. Now, I do want the white. You can either have on this one, it's going to be right up past those white or those red letters words, or you can turn it over and have a little pop of silver. So I'm going to be daring and go with a little pop of silver. That's just me. And go ahead and just lay this on and try to get it in the middle. Not glue your hand to it. Oh, it's crooked. But I think it's going to stay that way. Yes, it looks perfect. So be mindful so it's not crooked. So here's another cool tip. I had this piece cut off when I cut my designer paper, and I told you I kept it. I put this on here to give a little bit of color, and I'll show you why. When you put it in, if you don't want to use it, it just looked kind of blasé. So I wanted to dress it up. I just put this on. I don't want to go all the way to the edge because that piece has to be cut off. But we're going to just come almost to the top, right to the side, almost to the top, leaving that little hint of the succulent there. And then I'm just going to snip this off, the little extra. Just cut that off. Look at how cute. So now this will go in here, and it just gives this a little more color, and I think it looks adorable. But we're not done yet, because did you guys notice on here my white, well, where is my tape, my ribbon, I should say. Is this one I have? Should have two pieces. Here they are. So the ribbon, when you get this ribbon, it is black and white. Isn't that cool? And it's called the black and white gingham ribbon. And I love this ribbon. There are so many beautiful projects out there. It was paired, I think, with the Halloween stuff, but let's make it holiday-ish, Christmas-ish. So I'm going to use my soft, succulent blend and do some more ribbon coloring. So I'm going to color both of my ribbons because if you notice on here, I also tied my candy cane on with it. Is that not cute? So let's go ahead and color those really fast. And I'm only going to do one side because I just want a hint of color. Just a little sprinkle is what I guess we could call it. And so it doesn't have to be really dark. If you like it darker, by all means, you can make it darker. Look at how cool. It just gives it that little tinge of color. Isn't that great? I think it's great. Okay. And that will only take a second to dry. So once that is dry, okay, I think it's dry. Do you believe me? It's okay. I'm doing it anyway. I'm using it anyway. So all I'm going to do is just tie this around in a simple knot. This is going to be my square knot that I spoke of earlier. I want it off to the side just a little bit because of where my piece goes down inside at that angle. So here we go, tying it around and around. And now I have simple knot and simple trim. Okay. Now with this one, it will just slide right in there. And you can always move your ribbon, just bend your packaging and slide your ribbon over, and it will make the ribbon go really easily. Okay, what do you think? So far, so good? Perfect. I'm moving on. So this one, I'm going to use my candy cane. So if this little piece bothers you, you can actually use a glue dot and put it on the back, which I think I left on the other table. So I'm just going to take a piece of my terrible tape that I love and pull some of that off. If I can do this. I'm not sure I can. Ooh, I'm daring. Come on. I want it to stick to my finger. Okay, look at that, because I don't want to go run across the room again. Done that a couple times. And I'm just going to use that to tack this up. And hope that it sticks on the candy cane and not me. Oh, yes. What do you think? I think it's going to work. I should have moved it down a little bit. All right. So then this piece is going to get put right on here. But what I did was I took and measured where I want to punch the hole for the candy cane. So I butted it up here pretty much to the edge. And then I'm going to put a dot where I want my punch to go. I'm going to try a smaller hole than the other one I did and see if that works any better. Oh, I can't see through there. Oh, there we go. No, can't really see through there either. Well, I'll just do it blindly. Perfect. So this ribbon is going to then get fed right into this hole. Come on, ribbon. Look at that. And I'm going to just grab a new box of glue dots because I do need them on the back of the candy cane. Look, a new box of glue dots. Don't you get excited when you get to open a new one? Because you feel like I have been working so hard going through all those glue dots. So I have to show it off. All right, here we go. I'm going to take a glue dot and put it, I could use my pick a tool, but I'm going to put it right on the candy cane. I'm just using 3. That should work fine, just fine. And you know, this is just to keep it from sliding all over the place. Oops, come on, little glue dot. Be friendly with me. And then this is going to simply come around and just glue it on, and let's tie. Oh, that didn't help. Come on. I bet I put the glue dots in the wrong spot. There we go. Well, we're going to pretend like it's holding while I turn this and tie my bow. Sometimes you just have to go with it. Okay. We're going to tie this in a cute little bow. Now, I probably should have used a longer piece of ribbon, but I am going to be determined to make it work. So this is what I do when I can't reach that other loop, my little loop. Oh, don't go away. Come back, come back. Ha! Aha, aha, aha. So tip, make sure you use longer ribbon when you're tying a bow. Look how stinking cute. Okay, so we just want to trim that off with a little angle. That was a little too much of an angle, but it's all right. Looks cute anyway. Ta-da! What do you think? Is that just not stinking cute? And then you can fuss with this. You could take this back out and move it over more if you want. But so those are our little hot cocoa holders. Cute, cute, cute. All right. So I've shown you a lot with some ribbon coloring, but I just want you to see what a difference that makes. I have one more project. If you're still with me, this is probably one of my longer lives. I normally don't go this long, but this is really cool. And you guys, I could have gone on for hours, but I won't. I just have one more project to show you. And I'm going to tell you really quickly, I don't have the measurements for this next card, but I promise you, I will get them to you. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the star on here. How could I do that? Where is my, here it is. Hi, Karen. Oh, thank you. I am using the Cute Stars adhesive backed stars here. And this is also in the June or July to December catalog. And these are also in the Halloween, but this little iridescent one, it didn't really matter. It, you know, there's a little hint of kind of a purple pinky in there, but I still thought it was cute, so I went with it. Hope you love it. All right, so the next project and my last project is, drumroll please, this is going to be another card. This card, I'm going to use the Merry Christmas from the Peaceful Deer, and that is the only thing I'm using from this particular stamp set. Sorry, I was trying to remember if I did get a chance to type it all out, but I did not. I'm also going to be using these gorgeous snowflakes. And these are the wonderful snowflakes. These are also in the mini. But if you guys haven't seen them, they're like an iridescent and they just punch out. They're already die cut for you. And they just punch out and they're that beautiful, like iridescent color. I love them. I love, love, love them. Okay, so I'm moving all this stuff out of my way. Oh, one question while I'm getting set up for my next card. One question that I get a lot is how come our blends, our Stampin' Up! Blends, don't come in every color? Like, why did they exclude some of the colors? And I actually called and asked them for the answer to that question. And it was made a lot of sense. But they told me that many of the blends that they don't have are because they already have colors that are so close and similar that it would have been like a repeat. So that is why they don't have them in certain colors. So if you're looking for a yellow, for instance, maybe try one of the other yellow markers, the blends that you have, to see if that will work. And it will be very close to what the other color is. You know, our colors, our cardstock, our inks, our markers, our blends are all meant to coordinate, not necessarily to match, but to coordinate with one another. So it definitely helps to know that and not be like, well, how come I don't have that Daffodil Delight or whatever one I think it's Curry they don't make. And that is why. So I just wanted to share that information with you. Sorry, I wanted to get a piece of white paper because I'm using a dark background here. Ta-da! Okay, so I cut, this is my last card. I cut a piece of quarter sheet. It's a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I will have the measurements for you later. I don't have them right now, but the other measurements I have, so stay tuned here. I'm almost done. Okay, this card is actually a really cool card. And what I did is I copied it from another card. And again, I don't have all the dimensions, but I'm using our Peaceful Place, I think it's called, Designer Series paper. And it's 12 inches for sure. And it's 5 1/4 inches tall, but I don't have all of the scoring in front of me. But what's going to happen is this is all going to fold up and it's going to get glued down. And the bottom here is going to be glued with the terrible tape because it's going to be a pocket card. It's a really fun pocket card. Come on, tape. And so let's get started with this one. You want to come down as low to the bottom as you can to hold that tape. So a pocket card is always fun. And the cool thing is with the holidays coming, you can always use it as a gift card holder. So we're going to glue that down. We're going to glue that down. Now mine didn't come together perfectly in the middle, but it's all good. So then we're going to glue these flaps down as well. And these I could probably just use this. Da, 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 da. And that'll hold my little flaps down. Don't need a lot of glue. We don't want the squish factor. Okay. Now this is going to simply get glued onto the base. This is a really easy card. Really easy and fun. Once I get you all the measurements, we used it in our club this month. Last night actually, but it was a different design. I did more like a fall card with them. Not holiday. But when I was coming up with ideas to show you guys for different ideas for the blends, so many people don't realize there's just tons and tons of ideas. If you want, you can glue this part down as well. Because we don't really need to have it open. It's open and shut case, right? So you could just glue that part down because what we really want is that pocket. Okay, so now that we have that, I may use another set of words from that other stamp set too. But we're going to have a belly band. I didn't score it. I just figured I would go ahead and bring it on. But I'm going to do it in the front. I'm going to bring the back and the front together simply because on the back of the card, I don't want to be able to see where it stopped and started. So that was just me. It's going to get hidden under a piece of paper and a piece of DSP. So hopefully I did this straight. You can make this a belly band as, you know, for yourself. You could make it so it would go on and off. I The card that I got was all glued and it was just a pocket card. And I loved the whole idea behind it. So that's why I'm choosing to do it this way. So I'm going to take this off and fold this down and make it much neater than what I have here. So I just didn't score it. Normally I probably would, but I didn't. Okay, so let's glue this on because it's just kind of a fun, different card. We like different. I know sometimes you get bored doing the same old simple card, so let's spice it up. We're spicing it up. And so this is just simply to hold it. If you prefer, you can use your tear tape to hold it down, but I'm using the liquid glue. All right, so next, this is going to go right about here. It's meant to be down towards the bottom more, but it can be anywhere you want. Okay, so then that's going to all be nicely glued shut. Now we have the bottom, we have our pocket. So I used some Pull Party for the back, and I used my white, and again, I'll give you guys these measurements afterwards. So let's do some stamping. So I have my Pull Party ink, and I'm going to show you, this is all still has to do with the blends. I'm not done with my blend presentation, but I'm going to use Sending Love and Peace. Sending Love and Peace this season. That sounds very pretty. So we'll use that one. Okay, come on out. Yes. And I'm going to use Pull Party. Let me get this stamp off of this block. And hopefully I don't get too inky. I'm falling off my chair here. Okay, here we go. So one thing I do want to share, and I do want to do, is this is going to get glued together, but I want to make sure I stamp it right. It's going to also get put inside the pocket, but I don't want my words to show. So I kind of want to eye where I want it. Or you know what? We could have it show the words. Let's see if that would actually work. Maybe that would be kind of fun to have it show the words. Guess I could give it a whirl. Okay, I'm going to be daring. I have a pencil. I'm going to just mark it. I'm not that daring. Ooh. Okay. Let's see what happens. So let's ink it up. I want to stamp this off. There we go. Sometimes if your stamps are new, you want to wipe them off first. If you haven't used it, and I don't know. Oh, I did use this one before. Now I remember. And I have a little tiny dot there. Can you see it? So if I can get this up above, I still want to have room for my ribbon. Look, it worked. Yay. Okay, so let's glue this on. Oh, Lord. And I know, you guys, this is a long live, but you have to see this is the last card. Hey, really quick, I want to give a shout out while I'm gluing this together. Starting November 16th through November 18th. So it's a 3-day sale that Stampin' Up! Is hosting. And they have some percentages off of dies. I know that one was 20%. Dies, cardstock, and dies, cardstock, and there was something else. Darn it. Anyway, I will have the information on my website. For those of you that are on my email, you got an email today explaining it. So it's a great deal. And also, if you want to be on my email, go to my Candy Stamper site and a little pop-up window will come on. And that way you can get notified when I do my classes. So this is going to go inside and you can kind of see it. It's cute. I like it. All right, so now we have to finish the rest of the card. Let me punch my little hole because I want to add some ribbon. That way people will know it's a pull-out card. But for now, I'm going to set that aside. Okay, let's finish this so I can get you guys off to have your dinner. I'm sure you're probably hungry. So I thought this would be really cute to add some more of this paper right here, but I wanted a pop of color. And one of the things you can do with your blends is you can color in paper. There has been some black and white paper in the past, and you can color in the flowers. You can color all sorts of things. And so I was thinking, what could I color? And I thought, how cute, I can color this paper. So I'm going to use my Pool Party blend, and I'm actually going to just go over the whole thing. I don't really want it to look too streaky, so I'm going to try to do long lines. And this is like one of the coolest things because you can put a pop of color, and this paper was absolutely perfect for this. Like I said, I was trying not to have too many lines on there. Isn't that cool? So do long straight lines. Well, they don't have to be straight. They're going to dry and be different. And check this out. We're going to add a little pop of color here. Now, you could just do it right on the white. Doesn't matter. It didn't really color in much over the gray. But now we're going to go ahead and glue this on. Isn't that cool? That's my fun little tip to color in some paper. Paper, ribbon. Oh, my goodness. And there's so much more. I wish I had hours to show you guys this because that's what it would have taken, is hours. Okay, so I just glued that onto the front. Now, I'm going to give that a second to dry. I'm going to use one of those snowflakes I was telling you about, and I'm going to glue that on, but I want to be mindful that it's going to fit in my envelope. So you want to be really careful not to let that hang over the edge. No hangovers. Oh, I had the wrong side up. So I'll put the right side up now. I'm going to go ahead, put a little bit of glue. I want a little more. Yep. That's perfect. So this has like an iridescent look to it. It's really cool. If you haven't seen them up close and personal, they are really pretty. Very pretty snowflakes for all my flaky friends. Okay, so we're going to pop that on. I die cut out one of the stitched snowflakes. It's so pretty. I'm going to use a dimensional and pop that up. Pop it up. Pop it up. Stay tuned. I'm almost done, and you'll have all of your instructions, or measurements, I should say. But we have to get this done because it was a fun one. I knew it would take me time, but I was okay with that as long as you were okay with that. You can always watch the replay. And I have my tag, and then I'm going to use the little happy birthday stamp. And I have my Pool Party ink pad. And I debated on what color to use, but I wanted to go with a lighter color to make my paper pop. I already stamped this one. Okay, well, I'm going to stamp it. It's done. I thought I had another spare piece. This was my cheater one, but I'm going to use it. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue that right on like that. Do you like it? Now, I could pop it up. Yeah, let's pop it up. I like that idea. I'm glad you thought of that because I think I like that better. So let's use, I'm going to use 3 dimensionals so that it doesn't like bow in the middle. No bows on this card. No bowing. Oh my goodness. I hope you guys love this. I had so much fun coming up with these ideas. I'm kind of sorry, but not sorry that it's taken so long. Sorry, but not sorry. If you only knew how many hours it is to create all this stuff and then to share it with you and try to do it fast, which I'm not trying to be fast. I just don't want to keep you. Oh my gosh. Do you love it? I just have to add some bling. Every card should have some kind of bling. Well, maybe not every card, but most of your cards. So I'm really going for it on this one. So these are our rhinestones. Love our rhinestones. Let's see how this looks with a giant rhinestone in the middle. If it's too gaudy, we could take it out. Oh no, it's perfect. And then one of the teeny tiny ones up here will be super cute. Right about there. Oh, come on. Nah, I don't like it there. I'll put it in the middle of a snowflake. There and there. How's that? I told you guys, sometimes I want to call this Winging It Wednesday. Okay, so thank you so much. I'm going to bring out, oh, wait a minute, I didn't finish. Oh my God. This was all part of it too. I wanted to show you. You already know you can color with the, see, I'm already trying to say goodbye and it's not even time yet. Almost, I promise. But we're going to matchy match the ribbon and our designer paper here. And we're going to have some matchy paper, ribbon. We are designers at heart. And this will come through as soon as it dries. It's dry. And then we're going to simply pull this through. Nope, I'm going to tie it in a cute little knot at the top. So many choices when you want to put this on. I can feel it's still a little bit damp, but it's all good. So let's tie this across the top, just like that. And then we're going to trim and trim. And then we're going to place this in here. Hold on. Bring my white sheet back. Now you can see what the heck I'm doing. Slide this in. And voila. A little ribbon coloring. A little project making fun. It's all the madness. It's all the fun. So what do you guys think? Please give me some feedback. I love hearing from you. Please share this with your friends. Check out my YouTube videos and subscribe. That is the biggest help. Subscribe and let's get some of these fun projects in other people's hands. All right, are you ready for the measurements? You can probably go back and do a screenshot of this. So this measurement on the top here, the in color card with the soft succulent base, that is, let me see how that looks in the camera. Oh, it looks good. I'll move my white sheet out of the way. So that is for your, here, let's do this. Let's move it up right about there. I'm looking at the camera and I can see what I have going on here. And then over here, we can move this over and then you can have, oops, that's not it. It was this. Oh, sorry. I have my arms everywhere. It's this one to give you the measurements for the hot cocoa. The, there we go. Ah, yeah. And then my little card. I don't have the measurements for this card, but I promise you I will get them typed up and put on my candystampers.com. Thank you so much. Let me check my cheat sheet. So we kind of wrap everything up. You can color on your ribbon. You can make your ribbon all sorts of different colors, and you can color on your DSP. That was what I was able to show you today. Make sure you are storing your blends flat. You do not want to store them this way. No, no, no. You want them to be flat because the ink will end up in one side or the other. So make sure you store them flat. And again, there are tons of ideas. I may come back and show you guys some other cards or videos later on down the road. But next week on the November 17th, I'm going to start my Wednesdays using holiday ideas for you all the way through December. I think it's 22nd. It's whatever that last one is. Oh, thank you, Linda. Thanks for watching. So I'm going to be having all sorts of really super fun ideas for you to make for the holidays. Fun paper crafting ideas. my mind is just going nuts because I don't know how I'm going to fit them all in over all of those weeks. But you guys have to come back because you're going to love it. Share, enjoy, have a great day, a great rest of your week. And thanks for stopping by. We will catch up with you later. Next week, next Wednesday for some more 411 stamping fun. Thank you again. Bye-bye.